I am not surprised the little nun is missing. She is reckless.
Dost thou know of her?
No.
Yes, we shall lie to thee no longer. Anezka came hither in search of thee. The gift of sight blazed in her eyes, revealing unto her that we are childer of Cain. And yet she had no fear of us.
Where is she?
We told her thou wert not among us, and she left.
What?
She insisted on leaving this letter for thee, as if she somehow knew we had lied to her. I give it thee.
Dearest Christoph, I have not seen thee since the night thou fled the convent, and I fear thou hast been swallowed by the creatures that rule the night. But dread shall not rule my heart. I am resolved to renounce my holy orders and walk the face of the earth until I unite with thee. And if thou turneth thy face from me, I shall search for such panacea as will restore thy soul and bring the rose to thy fair cheek again. Thou hast captured my heart, and I can do naught but seek thee and make us both whole. Though our cause be lost, yet shall we both be found. Thy immortal love, Anezka.
Why didst thou not tell me?
Whelp, thou must leave her world behind.
Thou hast doomed her. I could have persuaded her to stay in the safety of the convent.
Nay, thou canst not control such as she. There was a mania that shone in her eye, a kind of madness. And yet her mind was sharp, as if her delirium had strengthened her mind rather than sapped it. In another time, I would have been moved to take such a one as my child.
Nay, her soul must remain pure. We must find her and save her from the fiends. We must redeem her before my curse dooms her, as in my dream.
The nun was not the only one missing. Many have been taken, mortal and vampire alike. We go in search of our bourgeois allies, but will rescue as many of the others as we can, including thy mortal nun.
Therefore we are resolved to entreat Prince Rudolf Brandl for assistance, even though he is of Clan Ventru. To make amends for withholding this letter from thee, we go tonight. Come.
We know of these disappearances. Little happens in Prague without our knowledge.
How now? Hast thou discovered the culprit?
We can direct thee aright, should we feel so moved.
I cannot imagine such a thing as can move thy lordship.
We desire a reliquary containing the arm of St. George, which lieth in the antechamber of the Cathedral of St. Vitus. Alas, a ring of hallowed ground outside the cathedral doth repel cainites. The sanctified ground extends not into the cathedral, but we cannot cross the outer gates.
Then how may we cross the sanctified ring to enter the cathedral?
We tire of thee. Pray, do not return until thou hast the arm.
Very well. We go.
If we must.
We tire of thee. Pray, do not return until thou hast the arm.
Joseph, do thy hidden tunnels allow vampires to enter the cathedral?
Aye. My tunnels undermine the sanctified ring of protection. I have used the tunnels to enter the cathedral many times, and gorged myself upon the intoxicating Christian blood within.
Then I shall bring thee the blood of a beautiful cainite elder, and enter thy tunnels. We crave a goblet of thy precious blood, that we may enter the Nosferatu tunnels to pass into the cathedral.
I do give thee a goblet of my blood, brave Christoph. May the arm of a saint arm us with absent friends.
Oh, yes. It is lovely. Most lovely. Thou mayest enter my halls. Go thou. However, I cannot guarantee a safe journey.
the abyss with thee! To 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 the abyss with thee! Let loose thy wrath! To the abyss with thee!
The hunger rises within me, and death is near. To the abyss! To the abyss with thee!
To the abyss with the abyss with thee!
The beast roars within me. The beast roars within me.
I am weak with lack of precious blood. To the abyss with thee! Ah! To the abyss with thee! To the abyss with thee! To the abyss with thee! To the abyss with thee!
I am weak with lack of precious blood.
Stand thy ground! abyss with thee! To the 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 abyss with thee! The abyss with thee! To the abyss with thee! To the abyss with thee! the abyss with thee! To the abyss with thee!
The beast emerges from the darkest corners of my heart. The hunger rises within me, and death is near.
The abyss with thee!
Serena hath
For me, I must feed. The beast awakens.
The hunger rises within me, and death is near. I refuse to carry any more spoils.
I stand.
I shall depart.
Return to me.
A comely young sister did come to me from the convent. A clever lass she was, and more valorous than many a young warrior. She bade me give thee this letter.
My dearest Christoph, I have spoken to the old gypsy, a woman of great lore and learning. She hath told me much of the way of the cainites. She has heard that the soul is not truly lost after the horrid blood ceremony. There is hope even in unlife. The elder cainites know of the secret, and thou too may learn of it. I live for thy redemption. Thine in faith, Aneska.
Hello, young one. What is it you desire? Go with God, young one. Hello, young one. What is it you desire? Farewell, young one.
Good day to ye, young sir. Ye have my hand on it. 'Tis a deal.
The path of Cain is the only escape. Follow it. Let it lead you.
In the beginning, there was only Cain. Cain, who sacrificed his brother out of love. Cain, who was cast out. Cain, who was cursed with the lust for blood. It is Cain from whom we all come, our sire's sire. For the passing of an age, Cain lived in the land of Nod, in loneliness and suffering. For an eon he remained alone, but the passing of memory drowned his sorrow, and so he returned to the world of mortals. To the world of mortals. To the world his brother and his brother's children had created. Though he became ruler of a mighty nation, Cain was still alone, for none was as he. His sorrow grew once again. Then he committed another great sin, for he begat progeny, of whom there were only 3. But from them came more progeny, Cain's grandchildren. And then Cain said, "An end to this crime. There shall be no more." And as Cain's word was law, his brood obeyed him. The city stood for many ages and became the center of a mighty empire. But then came the deluge, a great flood that washed over the world. The city was destroyed, and its people along with it. Again Cain fell into a great sorrow and went into solitude, becoming as a dog amidst the wastes, and leaving his progeny to their own ends. They came to him and begged him to return, to help them rebuild the city. But he would not come with them, saying the flood had been sent as punishment for his having returned to the world of life and subverting the true law. A great war was waged, the elders against their children, and the children slew their parents. The rebels then built a new city and brought to it 13 tribes. It was a beautiful city, and its people worshipped them as gods. They created new progeny of their own, the 4th generation of cainites. But they feared the jihad, and it was forbidden for those children to create others of their kind. Although this city was as great as Cain's, eventually it grew old. As do all living things, it slowly began to die. Their city was destroyed and their power extinguished. With their authority gone, all were free to create their own broods. And soon, there were many new cainites who ruled across the face of the earth.
I do withdraw.
I stand.
I shall depart.
Attend me.
Who is it disturbeth the repose of the dead?
One who prizes the living over the dead.
Thou hast entered the halls of King Vaclav the First. Thy cainite flesh must be unraveled from thy cainite bones that thou may enter the halls of the dead, naked of all but thy canine spirit.
To the abyss with thee!
The beast roars within me. The beast roars within me.
To the abyss with thee! To the abyss with thee!
Behold, Christoph, there are worse fates than death, and worse than unlife is a vampire. Thou spoke true.
Here be my wares. Go with God, young one.
Behold the reliquary with the arm of St. George. I pray thee, tell us of those that are missing.
Yes, thou hast done well. We shall tell thee a tale to curdle thy blood. Thy absent friends and vanished allies now dwell in Vienna, at the chantry of the damnable clan Tremere. They abduct mortals and turn them into ghouls, vampires, that they may have foot soldiers in their bloody war against the Tzimisce. But now the Tremere have undertaken to abduct their fellow vampires in violation of all cainite law. They conjoin the flesh of many vampires to create demonic gargoyles to fight the Tzimisce. Such are the ways of those that did once plunder the power of Cain by committing an unspeakable act upon a grandchild of Cain.
Where have they taken the slaves?
We know not, but our spies have ferreted out their slave master. His name is Ardan, and he dwelleth in a secret Tremere chantry hidden within an alchemist's shop in Golden Lane.
We seek thy princely permission to attack him and liberate such slaves as he has taken.
Such dispensation I do not give lightly, for we of Clan Ventru have lately joined in an alliance with the Tremere. We do use the Tremere for our own ends against the hated Tzimisce clan. Yet for their crimes against my city, the Tremere must pay a debt of blood. We do bestow our princely dispensation upon thee. Thou mayst assault Arden's chantry and liberate such cainite slaves as he has taken.
May we liberate mortal slaves as well, or does the prince care not for those whose blood sustains us?
I see that Ekaterina the Wise has not yet tamed the impertinent tongue of this child. I shall assist her in the chore. Now that thou hast paid the price, I give thee full dispensation to liberate such mortals as thou findest within Arden's chantry. Now get thee from my sight.
Good day to ye, young sir. Good day to ye.
This shop is but a mask, concealing the face of the Tremere in their lair.